This is a common topic, so I'll read it again, and I will not have you rely on your memory. Regarding public participation, the Texas Open Meetings Act allows for public participation in local government. How will you ensure the public's voice is heard, and what steps will you take to foster an environment of open dialogue and public participation in city council meetings?
Okay, so as I've mentioned before, I've been very heavily involved in our local politics for the last 7 years or so, and so I haven't had any problem speaking out and saying the quiet part out loud. I'm known for doing that, but it's very tough when you go into a council meeting and you only have 3 minutes to speak. You cannot really get anything comprehensive out in 3 minutes. So my suggestion as a council member would be to extend the time that people are allowed to speak during the public address or public comment to 5 minutes. We're never going to come up with a time that works for everyone as far as when the council meeting will be. But Cole and I have discussed this a lot over the last few weeks, and I think that my suggestion would be, if we're going to move it to 3 p.m., I think we need to have rotating weeks where it's at 6 p.m. or something like that, to allow for the people that want to come and talk on something or are having an issue that's not pressing, that they need to get to that week, that they can come at that hour that's more opportune when people are not working. Also in Houston, they have it to where if there's an issue, they can put that citizen on the agenda and have a conversation with them back and forth about whatever it may be. They just have to, it's them signing up is putting them on the agenda about that topic, and then we can discuss back and forth instead of being bound to the Open Meetings Act and not able to have a conversation. We just look at them and say, okay, thank you, sorry we can't discuss it, come back next time. That way we can just solve their issue right there, one and done, and they're out.
So Les, you'll have a minute and a half for this.
Okay.
We let Claudette go over, and then you're going to stay there for one last question.
Okay.
So one last question, you'll stay up.
Okay, great. No, I think the public commenting period, I think, is something that should be welcome and open in a city council meeting. I do like the changes that have been made. I think what was going on was much more restrictive than it needed to be, and the law laws more are for that, including being able to not just have a public comment period. And for me, I don't care if it needs to be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm there for the people, so I don't, the length, whatever the people think is. But I will go back to the point that I think, to really, I don't think you can depend just on public commenting to find out what people really think. For me, I think we need to listen to people, but I think being proactive and going out to the community and spend, just like that, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I think if we're really going to find out what people think, I think as a council member, and other council members may do the same, but it's making the effort to go out to talk to people, not let them have to come to us. Make it easier for them to provide that feedback, and I found the easiest way is go knock on their door, and they're willing to talk, and you listen to what they have to say and do that as much as you possibly can.
Yep, well, we're nearing the end. This is going to be the last question, and of course you're starting, Mr. Simpson. It's the same last question I asked to place one. You two are very similar in that you're both labeled conservatives and Christians, and we just want to know why you and not the other candidate in place 4.
Yeah, well, a couple of things. I said, I've spent 20 years doing my homework. Part of it was my job to be able to do that, and spend another 15 years before arriving here to do that. So I'm intimately aware of local government, how it's to run, how it's supposed to operate, how it's not supposed to operate, and I spent much of my career doing that. I'm now a small business owner, and small businesses are the backbone of our economy. I help people explore going into business for themselves, and I realize the importance of them, and the lack of being business friendly or as business friendly as we need to be is something that I identify with, because I work with clients every day that struggle with that, including clients locally. And again, I will go back to doing my homework. I will listen to both sides. I will ask the tough questions and make the tough decisions without being influenced by the loud voices.
So like I've said before, I've spent the past 7 years fighting for the citizens of Amarillo, and so I have that experience under my belt. I think that my track record speaks for itself. in that I have put a lot on the line, and I've spent a lot of my time working for the citizens. The primary duty of the mayor and the council members is to be that conduit between the citizens and the government. And I've already been doing that for the past 7 years. That's what I've been doing, that's what I do, and I do a really great job at it. As far as being conservative, I think that my track record speaks for itself, and I think it's important that we look into people's track record, because people want to say they're conservative all day long, maybe because they hit like on something on the Babylon Bee or something like that. Look at the track record. The track record speaks for itself as far as being conservative is concerned. And so, yeah, that's it.
Adjust this microphone slightly. So thank you very much to our candidates for place 1 and place 4. That concludes our candidate forum. We thank you all very much for coming to attend and answering some of the less fun aspects of the campaign. Some of these questions are difficult, and coming up with 1-minute answers is always challenging. So we thank you all for what you have done today to help people become more knowledgeable about where you stand, what your positions are, just to get you know you better personally. And let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you very much. So what we'll do now is